When you get on a stage as a comedian, what are you imagining that the audience is going to do?
Hopefully laugh their faces off. When she compared comedy to relationships, it was the perfect metaphor.
I hope that he realized that a lot of what I said made sense. I know that I'm going to really be able to bring the full Chris to light and just make him a happier person too. I'm Samantha Karlin. I'm a dating coach. So how have you been feeling since our last session?
Good, actually.
Have you?
Extra I don't know, it's just one of those switches. You're like, just be more confident this week and act that way. And I feel like I have been. And good stuff's been happening this week anyway.
That's
so,
great.
Yeah.
That's great. So the karma's kind of starting to come along?
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Good.
And I think it's just going out with a different mindset than usual. It's like,
yeah.
Start your day thinking differently and do it differently.
Exactly. So a big problem for people, especially the whole guy walks into a bar thing, is opening up a conversation.
Yeah.
So based on your strength, you're able to woo people over, you're communicative, and you're adaptable. So this actually shouldn't be that hard for you.
Yeah.
Adaptability is really important for women and men. Some women and some men are just not very adaptable. They have a hard time changing plans. The most important thing is to be calm in a crisis and to be able to adjust to what's going on around you without freaking out and freaking other people out. So the basic kind of tenet of this is a thrifty little phrase I've come up with, which doesn't make any sense, but it's Quaker cut steel hats. What those stand for is question, compliment, situation, humor.
Got it.
So Quaker cut steel hats, I was already kind of practicing it in terms of like telling guys how to talk to girls, and then I kind of realized that there were specific things that I was hitting on over and over again. Questions and compliments and humor and situations, they always work. I think it's much easier to think of things compartmentalized so that you can think of all these options that you have. It seems like you have more than just being like, oh, I have to talk to this girl. What am I supposed to say again? I can't remember. So that's how I kind of went with it. And all of those, these are all premised around the idea and the awareness that people like to feel good. And they also like to feel good about themselves. Asking a question also kind of puts them in a different frame of mind. They're responding to a query. They're not judging you, checking you out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It puts them in a more open frame of mind. So then compliment is also based on two things. Compliment based on that people like to feel good about themselves, also makes people feel open. A lot of women are really insecure and don't really feel that great about themselves. So, and people don't usually hear compliments because we're not generally expressive enough with how we feel how great someone is. So,
question about that though. Say like, if I complimented like a woman, like when I compliment a woman's shoes, is that weird for a guy to be like, hey, you have nice shoes on? I'd say of the four things, the hardest thing for me to be would be the compliments. Because I feel like, in my mind, I don't know if I feel genuine when I'm saying certain compliments. If I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it, do I actually believe that something that somebody's doing is great, or I'm just saying it to have a conversation piece?
Now, if a girl's wearing like shoes like my little gold-tipped shoes, definitely something you could comment on because these are a little bit unusual. Even if she finds it a little quirky and weird, it can be funny. It's like
a conversation starter.
Exactly, it's a conversation starter in itself. Like even if it is awkward, that can itself be a conversation starter. It's like, why is this guy coming to my shoes? We're like, oh, didn't realize they were so nice. What's so admirable about my shoe taste?
I like gold color.
Perfect. And then you kind of have this little banter and you start going off and off. So going on to the next one, so question, compliment, situation. Always super easy to comment on a situation. Now, a situation can be anything from, you know, basically the time and place of where you are. So if you're at a concert.
Talk about the music, the band.
Exactly, you obviously make a comment about the band. Even like something so stupid like, lights are pretty dim in here, like, are you having trouble seeing too? You know?
Yes. I was just thinking that. This guy gets me.
So that all leads into humor, which is the last one. And this one's particularly important for you because you're so good at it. Humor is great because people love to laugh. And they like, and smiling actually, scientifically, when you smile, it actually makes you feel better. Actually, one of the top things that women look for in men is that he has a sense of humor.
That's what I hear.
Girls love to laugh. I mean,
Why
they really
are all
do.
these comedians dating so many women?
Comedians, are you kidding? They could have it in the bag easily, but they don't focus on it. And they're wrapped up in other issues that they haven't dealt with and use comedy as a defense to deal with it sometimes.
I'd say humor probably is the thing that comes naturally, which I think would be obvious since I do a lot of comedy stuff. But I think at some points, I think it might in some ways be a negative that I need to use better and not have it be against myself or be self-deprecating about it and just kind of not hide behind it, which I think takes away from some of the other stuff like the questions and the compliments. I'm not looking as much at that stuff as I should be because I'm just relying on one of the 4 things instead of using all 4 things.
So those are the 4 things. So what are they?
They're the question, hold on, that's the Quaker, the cut being the compliment.
Right.
The steal being the situation, and the H being the humor.
There you go.
Also hat.
Perfect. So the idea is that next time you kind of see somebody that you would want to interact with, you kind of have this toolbox of things and ways that you can approach.
My takeaways for the next session, I really want to do a lot of the small things that Samantha was telling me to do. I'm going to compliment somebody this week and mean it.
I thought today was great. We threw a lot at him today, and I thought he did really well with it. That's why I do this work, because it's cool to it's great to see people actually do the work and get results. I think he knows a lot of what I talk about already. He just either didn't believe it or doesn't practice it or both. I think he's starting to get it. It's not rocket science. And I think he's starting to kind of grasp that. And he's also starting to grasp that he has all those qualities, he just doesn't bring them out all the time.
I think that so far with Samantha, even in just a week or the first day we talked to each other, it just flipped a switch in my brain a little bit where I am actively trying to do stuff. It's helped me get my edge back in life. I'm using it, want to use it. I'm excited, pumped.
We are at this bar on 58th and 1st. And hopefully there'll be some ladies that you can talk to.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Chris.
Hi. I think he was a little overwhelmed.
There was a lot of awkward tension, I think, from the start. Do you like any cartoons?
I think Chris lost a lot of what I told him the first time because he was really nervous.